good evening, East Alabama and West Georgia. Dr. Don hanging out with you on your Wednesday. It is Wednesday, isn't it? And we're watching a few thunderstorms rumble across East Alabama and West Georgia this afternoon. So far, we only have one thunderstorm that went severe. That was down in Elmore County. That has they have since let the severe thunderstorm warning expire on that storm. But we have some heavy storms around, so I thought that I would jump in here with you for a few minutes this afternoon, kind of show you where those storms are and where they're going, because they're moving a little bit backwards. And so let's start down here on the south end of our coverage area. Lee County, you're looking pretty good right now. Chambers County, central and back over toward western Chambers County, mess right now. Got some really heavy thunderstorms down here in Chambers County, stretching from about Oak Bowery all the way up the western side of the county, from Lafayette all the way back over to the Tallapoosa County line. Very heavy rainfall now up there at Marcoot. From about Buffalo back off to the west. We see some heavy thunderstorms there as well. Pennon, you've had some heavy rain right on top of you, but that has since moved on off to the west. Very heavy rainfall down there at Rock Fence, Shiloh, Milltown, Abanda, just south of Clarksville, and just south of Doublehead. Then we get on up here into Randolph County. Let's go over to the eastern side, right there at McCosh's Mill, right there where Chambers, Randolph, and Troup County kind of all come together. That's a heavy thunderstorm developing there. And then when we get up into Randolph County, we've got a small area just north of Center Chapel. And then over here in the southwest corner of Randolph, that's where the story is in Randolph County right now, for places like Wadley, Southern Union, Corinth, Malone. A very, very heavy rainfall over there. I was just on the phone with my son who lives down here in the Corinth community, and he was showing me some live video of that storm front as it was moving in. And there's, from the video he was showing me, there are little bitty pieces of clouds that are hanging down low. And I know that kind of looks scary, but those are called scud clouds, and they're really not that uncommon when you have thunderstorms. And yes, the clouds are rotating. It wouldn't be a thunderstorm if it were not rotating, but I promise you, we're watching this thing very closely. It is just below severe limits, and there is really no threat of any tornado activity out of this storm right now. Now, having said that, anytime you have a thunderstorm, there's always a threat of rotation and tornadic activity, but the atmosphere is just not that conducive this afternoon for any type of tornadic development. But you should always respect a thunderstorm, regardless of what the atmospheric setup is for that particular event, because it can happen. All right, so just in the last volume scan, we see some pretty good hail indication down here in Chambers County. This is going to be just to the north and east of downtown Frog Eye, to the north or maybe to the west of Milltown, right there in the extreme northwest sections of Chambers County. You see that dark purple down there. That is most likely hail that's showing up down there on radar. So you folks over here from about Daviston back up to the Randolph County, Tallapoosa County line, this is going to kind of move in your general direction. These storms are moving backwards this afternoon. They're coming out of the east and moving back to the west. That's a developing thunderstorm, and you can see it's pretty strong. That is moving pretty much to the west. All right, so now let's continue on north, and we'll look over here in Heard County. Very, very heavy rainfall now just to the west of Franklin, from Viola, out there at the intersection of 34 and 216, back up to Ridley, back over to Adamson, and down to just south of Waresville. All of this is also moving off to the west-northwest. So you folks over in eastern Randolph County, up all along County Road 87, get ready. You got some heavy rain moving in. It's already raining real heavy now, just north of Big Springs over in the eastern sections of Randolph County. We also have a hail marker there. There's a 10% chance that we have hail falling out of this thunderstorm. And then as we continue on up to the north, lots of heavy rain up here just north of Woodland, County Road 48 from downtown Woodland all the way back up to the intersection of 100 just to the east of Graham. Real heavy rainfall there, and most likely some small hail there just north of Pine Hill in extreme northeastern Randolph County. That stretches up into Cleburne County, just to the southwest of downtown Ranburne. And then back over here in southern Carroll County, a heavy thunderstorm right there between Stony Point, Rootville, and stretching down into northern Heard County. And then just to the southeast of downtown Carrollton, a big heavy thunderstorm there also. Zooming back out, let's go back over and take a look at Clay County. Clay, you've already had several heavy thunderstorms this afternoon. They have since moved on over into Tallapoosa County, where we have a real heavy thunderstorm there just north of Talladega and also just north of Waldo. Lots of lightning output with that storm just north of Talladega. That's going to continue moving off to the west and northwest. That has a 70% chance of hail falling from that storm. That will eventually cross I-20 up there around Pell City. So if you're watching us in Birmingham and you're traveling east, you may want to go somewhere and have dinner and let this thing take its course before you try to drive through it up here on I-20, because that's going to be not something you want to drive through. And then going back down and looking at Coosa and Tallapoosa. Tallapoosa, you're in pretty good shape right now, but all this stuff over here in western Chambers County is going to move into Tallapoosa. So you folks in Budston, Daviston, New Site, even down here at Dadeville, heads up. You got a pretty strong line of thunderstorms going to be crossing out of Chambers into Tallapoosa. Again, that's backwards. That's not the way this is supposed to work. So I don't want you to get caught with your guard down there. And then looking down here in Elmore County, this is the storm that we had a severe thunderstorm warning for just about 30 minutes ago, and that warning has since been canceled. This storm has weakened some. It is just north of Wetumpka, stretches all the way up to north of Equality and back over to around Kelly's Crossroads. And then just to the east of Wetumpka, we've got a developing thunderstorm there. And then over here in Chilton County, a heavy thunderstorm right there just south of the I-65, 31 interchange, stretching all the way back up from Verbena, back up to around the Peach Park in Chilton County. And we'll go back out and take the large view of East Alabama and Central Alabama. You can kind of get a good handle on what's taking place. No question, the big story right this moment is this storm up here north of Talladega, and then this line of thunderstorms from Wadley up there around Almond, Malone, down to around the Corinth community, and then down into western Chambers County. It's a pretty strong thunderstorm. And then these individual cells up here in northeast Randolph, east central Randolph, and west central Heard County, showing pretty good signs of strengthening as well. So those are pretty strong storms also. And then that one down there in southern Carroll and northern Heard County is a respectable thunderstorm also. So that's kind of a quick rundown. If you're traveling I-20 toward Atlanta, look at here. That's some pretty nasty stuff up there from about Villa Rica all the way up to I-75 up there around Sandy Springs. And then north on 400 up around Alpharetta. Some very heavy lightning output right there with that storm. As a matter of fact, I live about 60 miles north of this area, and I was just on the front porch. I could hear it thunder that far away. I mean, literally, I'm way up here, and I can hear thunder down here around Alpharetta. So that's, that's got to be some pretty strong lightning output down there. So that's what we look like this afternoon. Nothing severe. We have no watches. At the moment, we have no warnings. Well, let me go over and check and see if we have any advisories. The latest advisory we received was that one for Coosa County. Let's see if it is still... let's see. Reading this thing here to see, and it's a significant weather advisory for northeastern Chilton and western Coosa County. That's until 7:30, so only about 6 more minutes on that one. That's the only advisory we have out there right now. So most of these storms are behaving in the sense that they are below severe limits, but The lightning output is pretty strong. You certainly will get some gusty winds, and there could be some small hail involved with some of this as well. So while we're here, you know how I like to do this. Let me go look at the chat board and see if anybody has any questions. A few shout outs too. Ricky says, good rain and thunder just came through Graham. I can see that. Looked like a pretty good little thunderstorm there, Ricky. Sharon says hello from Roanoke. Marie Baker is in the house. Linda Caldwell is watching us in downtown Wadley. Well, in Wadley. I'm not sure exactly where she is. Angie Brown is thundering and lightning and raining pretty hard in Abanda. Absolutely, no question about that. That's where one of the stronger cells is located right now. We'll go down here to Chambers County. And we'll take a ride up here to Abanda. You see, there's Abanda right there. So right now, Angie, you're on the back side of the storm. The absolute heaviest is over here where you see the darker reds. There's a 50.3 dBz output on that one. There's a 52. There's a 52. The darker areas is where there's a 54 down there near Shiloh. And then you're up here around 44. So it is lessening. The strength of the storm is weakening a little bit as it moves off to the west. So things should start to improve for Abanda here in just a few moments. But nonetheless, those are heavy thunderstorms out there this afternoon. Plenty of thunder, according to Ryan, in Center Chapel. That's over here in eastern Randolph County, just to the northeast of Roanoke. And there you go. There's Center Chapel right there. Probably hearing that thunder from down here around Roanoke. And also, more likely, you're hearing some thunder from up this big storm up here over in Heard County. Barbara is watching us in Wadley. Cecilia Newman, there's my buddy. She says some boomers around. No doubt about it, Miss Cecilia. You're on the backside of it also. Things should start to improve there in Pennon as this storm continues to slowly move off to the west. You're more than welcome, Angie. I appreciate you watching our broadcast. What's up, Elrod? Linda's watching in Wadley. Good rain and thunder in Graham. Let's see here. Hello, Sharon Smith in Roanoke. Dowie's in the house. Miss Catherine's watching us there. Pat Ray. Good evening to you, Pat. Sean Mitchell's watching us down in Clacksville, getting hammered. No doubt about it. Good evening to you, Linda. Thundering in Roxton. That's Ashley McCard. Agnes says that she's on County Road 79 in Randolph County. Thunder at the moment. Sandra Williams watching us at Flat Rock in Randolph County. Yeah, this storm is going to probably go just barely south of Flat Rock. Let's zoom in on that. Nonetheless, if you're out there on the rock, you probably shouldn't be. Yeah, there's Flat Rock Park right there. And you see that it's skirting just south of Flat Rock, but it's certainly close enough for lightning to be a problem up there on the rock. So if you're out there enjoying a Wednesday evening on the rock, probably at least ought to be in your vehicle until this thing gets out of the area. Carolyn's watching us in Carrollton. Thank you. Sue Smith is watching. Patsy Knight's watching us from the Corinth community. Sandra Williams, again, from Flat Rock. Marlon Stewart is in Roanoke. Wind and rain getting heavier in Daviston, according to Patrick Taylor. Yeah, and let's go back down there to that storm because it's right in the heart of our coverage area, and that is a strong one. And it is coming in from the east, which is backwards. So you've got what you're seeing right now in Daviston is nothing compared to what you're about to get. Rainfall will get intense here in just a few moments. There's a brand new lightning strike. Actually 1.3 minutes ago. That's just to the northeast of downtown Daviston. Another strike over here to the west of Milltown. That was almost 5 minutes ago. So, I mean, the lightning output is not tremendous, but it is still enough to be concerned about. And then you see those individual areas there of pink. That could be some small hail contained within this storm. John Knight's reporting that bad lightning in the Corinth community. And we see a couple of strikes right there in the last couple of minutes up here in southwest Randolph County. Thunder and lightning on Banks Road. Yeah, Woodland is, let's go back over here and zoom in on Woodland. All right, so Woodland, downtown Woodland proper, not a whole lot happening right this minute, but that's going to change quickly. I mean, maybe in the process of changing now. You have to understand these radar scans take about 2 to 3 minutes to do a complete volume scan and the data go out. So you see how close the leading edge of this is to Woodland. So it very well could be moving into Woodland right now. But the heaviest part of the Woodland storm is going to be on south side of Woodland, out here in the burbs on the south side. Down here around Napoleon, back up to just south of Woodland. That's where the heaviest of that cell will be. Out here around Liberty East Baptist, some pretty heavy rain out there also. Wedowee, you're about to get some rain. It's a small storm, but it's coming in along Highway 48 there, and that's going to move across the town of Wedowee as well. And then back over here in southwest Randolph County, you see that a lot of thunderstorms really isn't moving very fast at all. So you're getting some copious amounts of rainfall here across southwest Randolph and down across the Wadley area, and then down here across western sections of Chambers County. Sharon's watching us down there in Alexander City. Richie's watching us in Almond. Tawana's watching us in Woodland. Brittany's watching us this evening in Roanoke. Bowden, Georgia in the house. Thank you for watching, Joanne. Let's go back over here and check on Bowden. Y'all did have some heavy stuff that came right across the southwest part of Carroll County and ended up over here around Bucktown and Graham. Right now, though, you got a storm down here around Roopville. It's going to move off to the west, maybe a little bit north of west. If it's growing to the north, Bowden could get some of this, but probably the majority of it will stay just to the south of Bowden. But now this stuff over here around Carrollton out there on 166 and the bypass, that is moving west. So here you are, Bowden, and there's the storm that's most likely going to affect you in the next 30 minutes or so. Regina's watching us in Wedowee. Becky Baldwin is in Potash Ridge. And Rachel is watching us in the Ava community. Says that it is dark. And look at there. Look at there, Rachel. How many radars have you ever seen with the Ava community built in? There it is right there. Just zoom in a little closer. I want everybody to see it. There is the Ava community, just north of Wedowee. So Frog Eye's not the only spot in the road that's famous on Dr. Don's weather. We got all of them. We got all the little small places. So I'm going to zoom back out again. Most of the rain in Alabama and West Georgia is between I-20 and I-85, all moving off to the west, northwest, more west than northwest at this hour. If you get back over into Atlanta Metro, though, it's an absolute nightmare up there, just north of I-20 all the way back to Alpharetta, and that's moving off to the west, northwest as well. Cedartown's probably going to get some of that. Canton, you may catch a little bit of it on the north side. That whole complex there, that's some That's some pretty crazy lightning output. Let me just zoom in so I can get a lightning count on this one particular storm there, just south of Kennesaw, right there at Marietta. Wouldn't you love to be out there on I-75 in that mess? All right, so that's 94 strikes in the last 2 minutes. And most of it's coming from this one thunderstorm cell between Smyrna and Marietta and Powder Springs. That is a monster right there, laying down some serious lightning strikes. So that's pretty much what we've got this afternoon. Again, nothing severe. We've been on now for 21 minutes. We've had no advisories, no severe thunderstorm warnings. So these storms are staying just below severe limits. But again, if you get caught under one of them, you got heavy rainfall, some dangerous lightning, and maybe some gusty wind, and even maybe a few spots could see some small hail. But we don't anticipate a widespread severe outbreak with these storms, though we could see a few severe thunderstorm warnings over the next hour or so. I'm tracking it. I'll keep an eye on it for you. If we were to go under a severe thunderstorm warning for any of our counties in our coverage area, I'll be right back with you. I asked if you can to go over to drdonwx.com. That's our website. There's a donate button right there on the top of the page, and support us if you can. And if you own a business, especially if you own a business, click on that send message button. Send me a message, and I'll tell you all about how you can become a partner and support us here on Dr. Don's weather page. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I know I'll see you back in here tomorrow morning with your Thursday primetime forecast. And if we were to have any severe weather, I'll be right back here with coverage from Dr. Don's weather page. Y'all have a good evening. Bye now.